Good morning, YouTube. It's Ro here. Thank you for visiting You Grow Ro. If this is your first time here, I hope you'll consider subscribing at the end of this video. If you've been here before, thank you so much for coming back. I appreciate you. Today, I'm doing a quick harvest and I'm bringing you guys along in just a second. So I was just on the line with some of my YouTube girlies, well, not just, a couple days ago, but we were all talking about how our collard greens are sizing up, but none of us are in the mood to eat them. And mine are getting pretty big, some of them at least. I only got a couple plants, but I better go ahead and harvest them and get them cooked up before I lose them. So that's what I'm gonna do today. So let's take a look at the plants that I have out here. I actually thought I had some collards out here, but it turns out these are all broccolis, so no collards out in the bed. Besides the collards though, I'm also going to be adding, I have mustards all over the place. That's one thing I do have. So I'll be using my purple mustards with these as well, but they won't be going in as soon, in the pot as soon as the collards, because they don't need nearly half as long to cook down to their tender. So I don't have, like I said, any, I'm not seeing any collards in the beds at all. They must all be, what is that? That's a kale grax. Okay. They must all be up on the porch. And not just in the porch, I also have them in my green stalk, but they're pretty small. But I'm still gonna harvest from them because I did notice that I have cabbage worm issues down here. See, they done tore this plant up. Yeah, we got some aphids down there. Your classic brassica issues. So I am gonna harvest what leaves I can. I also have a smaller plant up here, but I'm pretty sure when these leaves are closed like that, it means they got a pest coming in on them. So I have that plant there that I can harvest from. There's this plant here, but these look a little small for me. Then up here I have two plants. These aren't being attacked as of yet, so I definitely want to harvest these. And I have this plant over here. And what else is there? I don't know how I forgot about this plant, but there's this one too. So I think I could get enough for a meal for tonight. Don't you guys? Let's see. I think I want to grow my collards here again because one, they sized up really nice, and two, these collards are super, super clean. Aside from a couple of spiders, there are no issues with these collards. They are beautiful. So I've already got my my onions chopped up and ready to go, some garlic, whatnot, my seasonings pulled out. I did all that last night to make this a much easier process. So growing them in the green stalk works. Didn't get as big as the others in my raised bed, but these are still very beautiful. And again, super clean. All I'm seeing is maybe a spider or an ant here or there. That's it though. And if you're not familiar with collards, one thing you'll learn is that they cook down to practically nothing. So I know it looks like I'm picking a lot. I'm really not. These are gonna cook way, way down. You know how spinach does when you use it? Same here. I'm not going to use this one. That doesn't look too good. These leaves that don't look super great, you can just go ahead and take these and throw them in a bucket of water and let them sit for, you know, like a 5-gallon bucket, and let those leaves sit. Or you can chop them up if you want to too. And then when it gets really stinky, that's when you know it's ready. And you can use that as fertilizer for watering your plants. One thing I will advise you though, if you choose to do that, is you probably want to have something covering your bucket. Don't cover it all the way, but something to keep mosquitoes from laying their larvae in there, so you're not breeding a whole bunch of flying insects. That's not the goal here. All right, that's a nice little harvest from that plant too. And lastly, I'm just gonna grab a couple of leaves from here. We'll see what's salvageable. These two actually don't look too bad. This one neither. This one looks good. It's those inside leaves that got demolished by the cabbage worms. Yeah, these look pretty good, right? I think so. I'm definitely checking these ones really good, because I do not want to bring aphids into my house. I think I got another one over here. Let's see. Turn this around a little bit. Yeah, we have, oh, no. Nope, that is a baby cauliflower. fun. All right, so instead of taking these directly into the house the way they are, I am going to be washing these outside. If you're lucky enough to have a spigot outside, I would recommend doing that. But if all you can do is take them in the house and dunk them in your sink, so be it. But I'm going to rinse them out here while I can, because I can. And then I'll take them in the house and throw them in a little bit of vinegar and water solution. You know, sit them in there for a minute, then rinse them off, and then maybe do it again, and then they'll be ready to get chopped and made into dinner. So let's take a look at the whole harvest. How did I do with, what do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4 plants. None of them in ground. Let's go ahead and take these. There we go. Add them to the pile. There it is. That's probably enough. Tim doesn't like a whole bunch of collards, so that is plenty for the two of us. Fantastic. All right, friends, so that was my quick little harvest of the collards that I have growing. But I had another thought while I was over there getting ready to rinse those off. There was something I didn't mention. I did tell you that I had planned on using my giant red mustards in addition to the collards I pulled, but I wanted to mention to you guys that you could also use other brassica leaves if you wanted to. You could most certainly add your brassica leaves if you wanted to. So from like the cauliflower I got growing here or the broccoli, I could certainly add these leaves to that mix. They'll break down just as nicely and taste just as good. I could even add these leaves from my chard if I wanted to, but I'm not going to. I could add my perpetual spinach as well, but I'm trying to get this established, so I'm trying not to harvest these too much. However, if these were, you know, 2 years, 3 years old, I could totally harvest all of those and add that to the mix as well. I even know people, and I've mentioned this before, who use the pepper leaves. They use them like spinach. So you could throw those in there too. I wouldn't throw them in when you threw in your collards, because these don't need as long to wilt as the collards will to, you know, get nice and tender. But you could use your pepper leaves too. No worries there, no toxicity at all. My plants are too small for that, but you could. This is a halfway decent leaf. All right, friends, that was just a quick little video. I hope you guys are starting your harvest as well. See, today I did my collards. Yesterday I did my herbs that I have. So I harvested my tarragon, some basil, some dill, oregano. Did I say thyme? And thyme. And then I put it in the dehydrator overnight, and those are all ready. I'm getting started on my herbs. I grow our herbs for the year, all on my own. We haven't bought herbs in, I couldn't tell you how long, because I grow them all for us. And it's time to get started. No pun intended. Alrighty, friends. Wishing you abundant harvests, and I'll see you in the next video on another day. Until then, happy growing, my friends.